Welcome, legends. This video is going to be a lot different than my normal analysis, but I've had many people asking about a different trading strategy I've been using for my mid to long-term positions and range-bound trading. The strategy I'm referring to is spot grid trading bots. Now, a lot of exchanges actually have this feature built right in, and there's many additional bots to pick from, but for now, I'm just selecting the spot grid trading bot. And so far, I've only used grid bots on Bitget and BingX. Every exchange may function slightly differently and offer different features and that sort of thing. Not all exchanges do have this either, by the way. But for this example, I am using the Bitget exchange because it has Propsy, which is one of my micro cap holds that I decided to use this method on recently. Now, before I go into how to set this up, I want to go over kind of some pros and cons. Just starting with the pros, this approach is very systematic. There's no human emotion attached. You set your range, you pick your number of grids, and you basically let it run. It doesn't really lose trades. Personally, I kind of like to use this as a bit of a hedge on my longer term holds. I can run a grid bot with a portion of my holdings, so even if my asset is losing value, at least the grid bot is softening that blow and even accumulating more of the asset for free in the process from a very hands-off approach. So just going over how I set these up. Basically, I was looking at Propsy as trading in this little bit of a sideways range here that you can see it was outlined in blue here. And so in that case, obviously, I'd have my lowest price down at about $1.60. And above that, then the top of the range would be around 220. So you can see here that basically, I mean, obviously we have more sells, or we have more buys than sells right now because currently the price is closer to the top of this range. So one thing to consider with that is usually when you end up opening a spot grid position, it will show your total P&L in a negative if it ends up just trying to basically get you somewhere into the middle of how many you have bought, basically how many of the coin, that sort of thing. But basically, the reason I like using this strategy for longer term holds is because I don't really care if the value of it is going down because it's something I'm comfortable holding through those dips. So this is just a way to, like I said, kind of accumulate more for free. But basically, you're going to set your low end of your range, your high end of the range, and then your number of grids. I like to go more just because then it's hitting more trades. I hit 100 there. It only picked, what is that, 68? It'll just, if you put in too many grids, it'll just automatically give you the maximum. The more grids you have, the smaller your profits are going to be, but they're going to be more consistent because your number of grids is just how many sections you're splitting that range into. So in this case, if that says 68, then I'm looking at that many places where the bot is going to be buying and selling. So basically every time this coin moves a cent, it's going to be buying and selling as it's moving. So yeah, it's got its pros and cons. But this is how you set it up. You can also have, you can choose what you invest, either USDT or the coin itself, or a combination of the two. And then when you do start your position, it will basically automatically sell or buy or whatever it has to do to kind of balance out the equation for itself to run properly. But it's super easy to use. A few cons about this, like I know it sounds real good that it doesn't lose trades, basically, that sort of thing. Obviously, one con would be obviously way smaller and slower gains than leverage trading, for example, but obviously significantly less risky. If the asset does pump in price out of your range, then you'll be sold out of that entire position and miss the rest of the move. You can see that right now, the price, for example, is kind of teetering right at the top of my pattern there. If it breaks out and this is the position I would be in, I would be all sold out of my positions basically, and my bot would stop functioning until we drop back into that range. So you can potentially miss a move. And this is actually why I mentioned early only using a portion of my holdings for doing this, because I'm just not comfortable potentially moving that or missing that whole move on something that I wanted to hold as more of an investment, more of a long-term hold. So I don't want to be kicked out of my entire position just in case it does really take off, because it is such a low cap. Yeah, I may not necessarily want to close out the entire position of the investment, but I also don't mind taking partial profits if it's really going to take off like that and I get kicked out of my bot. I can always reset the bot in a new range when the time comes, when I kind of see what it looks like it's ranging with. Or obviously another way to avoid this is you'd obviously just set a much larger range. If you're like me, you may need to just adjust some parameters from time to time if you want to keep them nice and tight and really maximizing those profits in a tight range. But obviously, yeah, right now, just the way this coin is, for example, just a real-time analysis here is MEXC is actually listing this token on Thursday as well. And we do have this ascending triangle formation here. Obviously, nothing has to happen, but just since I am leaning a little bit more bullish here, I've actually stopped the bot that I had and I'm adjusting the parameters. So basically now, rather than having this kind of a trade range, now I want to catch more of the higher range if we are going to get into that range. I don't want to miss that move. So I'm willing to accept the fact that, you know, my bot's probably not going to be going near as much for the next little bit, because I have a feeling that, yeah, maybe we do just continue trading sideways. Maybe we even drop off a cliff. Maybe we lose that support, right? Then whatever, I'm just not going to have any bot activity. That's fine. Either way, I'm comfortable holding this coin, but I'm not comfortable missing this move if it comes. So I've just loosened my parameters. So let's say now I want to go from this support line, basically $1.85. Up to, let's just call it $3 because that's about $2.90. Let's go to even $3. And then boom, you can see how the grid would work there is we'd have these buy orders from where we're starting right now. Every time we drop about a penny, we would be actually, oh, I think I can actually get more there. We have even more orders now because we extended our parameters. So now we can have more grids here. So yeah, basically every penny that it moves to the downside from here, it would be automatically just buying small positions, and anywhere it goes up, it would be selling those positions. So very cool. Very neat and different from how I normally trade, because you guys know that typically I'm more of a high leverage short time frame kind of a guy. So to have such small, just nickel and diming profits here and there, but on something on more of a gradual and just a hands-off approach, it just seems like an interesting different strategy out there. So oh, another thing, you guys, although, as I mentioned, the bot won't typically lose trades, it can still obviously lose value. If the coin that you're trading, in this case, Prop C in my case, if this does lose this support level I was talking about, the bot's not immune to that. Obviously, it's going to be holding a bunch of Prop C, and it would lose value. But like I said, I'm comfortable holding this coin anyways, and I would have just had it held in a bag, not doing anything. So in that case, I'm just comfortable taking that loss. I'm just trying to accumulate more of it basically at this point. So just wanted to make that clear. Yes, it doesn't really lose trades, but it can still lose value, or if you close it out, then it can lose trades. But yeah, hopefully that all makes sense, guys. Anyways, my friends, obviously none of this has been financial advice. Always do your own research. This is just another method of trading, or more so active investing, that I've been using recently. If you appreciated this video, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. If you want access to my favorite indicators, the VIP Discord, as well as a couple no KYC crypto exchanges, I've got some referral links down below for some special bonuses, discounts, and so on. And with that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.
Yeah.